On this episode, we're asking if these Disney restaurants are worth the price.
Welcome to everybody to Unlocking the Magic YouTube. We're going to have to go over Sanaa, Whispering Canyon, Sci-Fi Dinner Theater, Via Napoli, and I forget the other one.
Liberty Tree
Tavern. How did I forget that one? We're going to ask, are these Disney restaurants worth the price?
It helps if you look at the show notes.
Yes, it does. I tend to forget to do that sometimes. So let's start with Sanaa, which is located in Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge.
All right.
Downstairs, you get a nice view of the savannah. Mm-hmm. It's a great restaurant. What do you think?
If you listen to the latest podcast episode, I actually forget which number episodes we are on.
320.
We are on number 320. So if you listen to the Unlocking the Magic podcast over on iTunes or Stitcher Radio, make sure you subscribe over there. We actually unlocked Disney's Sanaa restaurant.
Yes, and that is episode number 320. We'll link it below too, so you can subscribe to the podcast as well.
You can hear all the good things we had to say. So I am going to say right now, of course, it's worth the price.
I think so too. I think that this is one of the restaurants that we're going to talk about here on this video that is worth the price, whether you go for lunch or dinner.
Yes.
Like we talked about on the podcast, I would suggest with getting a smorgasbord of appetizers.
Totally.
And a couple entrees that you can all share, so that way you get a feel for the whole menu, because it is a unique menu and it may not be great for everyone. So you may want to get a few dishes so you can share them.
I don't think it's not going to be great for everyone. I just think that it's more fun at this particular restaurant to kind of do a family style.
Even though sharing is gross.
It can be gross depending on who you're with.
But you do want to, at this particular restaurant, make sure you get a couple things. The bread service is what everybody talks about.
Yeah.
But I got the salad appetizer. Watermelon and fennel salad was fantastic. We showed some pictures on our Instagram and on the YouTube. No, we didn't do it yet on YouTube. But on the Instagram, we showed some pictures of the appetizers, and they weren't the best visually looking appetizers that you're going to see, like you would particularly find on Instagram.
I think it's a good restaurant. I definitely think family style. And like I said, it depends on who you're with. I guess you don't want to bring anyone that's going to be double dipping with the naan bread and the sauces.
Get two naans. If you have a family of 5 like us, get two naan. Two bread services.
2 bread services. The naan bread, super good. They also have gluten-free option if you have a gluten sensitivity or allergy. So that's kind of fun too.
Yeah.
Next one, Whispering Canyon. This is located at Disney's Wilderness Lodge Resort. Is it worth the price?
So explain a little bit about the menu first.
Okay, so the menu here is basically all you care to enjoy platter that you can get at the restaurant. And it comes with all sorts of barbecue, chicken and veggies. They also had a vegetarian option for one of our kids.
Yeah.
And it comes in this big, I thought it was going to come in like your own individual.
Yeah, but that's a little bit, that's the confusing thing. When you order it, right?
Yeah.
It says it's $34 right now for dinner.
Yeah.
$24 for lunch for the skillet.
That's
and I thought you were going to get your own skillet, and then when you want more, they'll just bring you your own skillet.
Right, but that's a lot of skillets, I guess.
True, but what they actually do is bring you one big skillet, kind of like what they do at Liberty Tree Tavern, with all of the meats and sides in the skillet. And then when you want more, they'll either bring you another skillet if you want the whole thing, or they'll bring you each individual thing that you want more of.
Right.
So I was under the impression, this was our first trip to Whispering Canyon, I was going to get my own skillet.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense now that I say it out loud. Like, they're not going to have 100
skillets.
Those things are heavy. They're like cast iron skillets.
Yeah, that's true.
That I guess I would just, in the photos or whatever beforehand, I did think like you, but then the reality sets in. You're like, oh yeah, like this is how they have it done. And in fact, all you care to enjoy places, they do it just like that way. Yeah. You know, they send you one platter and you kind of pick through, and then if you want more of anything, they come around and ask, and they sure do replenish it.
Yeah, and you got iced tea, I think it was.
Yeah. And
you finished your iced tea pretty quick, so the lady, our waitress, brought over you this giant iced tea. It was like one of those mason jars, but it was literally 5 times bigger than a regular mason jar. Yeah. Full of iced tea.
Let's just say I had enough iced tea at that point. I was pretty happy.
Yeah. Anyway, do you think this is worth the price?
So I think this particular restaurant, it's not, I like the atmosphere. I like the interaction between the cast members, But for our experience, I'm going to say it wasn't worth the price, only because maybe we got it on an off day, but our barbecue was a little dry. And to be quite honest, the kids didn't eat enough to pay that adult price. And I kind of felt, I was leaving afterwards kind of feeling bummed. Like maybe it should have been a place where you and I just went alone.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe if you do take the kids, go for lunch, not dinner.
Definitely.
And make sure that if you do go to these places that are, you pay all you cater to enjoy prices, that your kids eat enough. Because sometimes you can leave feeling like you paid a lot and they didn't eat a lot, even though they're full.
No, I know. It just, I guess it didn't, their eyes are bigger than their stomachs. And
Definitely.
the reality is we are paying adult prices for them now. So
yeah, so that's something that you got to take into consideration. So I don't think it's worth the price for dinner. If you're a family of 5 and you have little kids and you're all buying it, all you cater to enjoy skillets, I don't think it's worth the price. I think you should skip that. But maybe for lunch, try it out. And definitely if you have older kids, and we've heard good things about breakfast too.
That's true. Okay, so since we're on the all you cater enjoy, let's just talk about Liberty Tree Tavern. I know if you guys listen to the podcast regularly, you know that we rave about Liberty Tree Tavern a lot. This particular time, it was COVID, but we're going to put that aside and pretend that things are back to normal and just kind of go with the food itself and the experience that we had with the price and the overall food.
I think it's underrated. I think this is a restaurant that it seems like you go to Walt Disney World and you always book your reservations way ahead of time. And then there's these restaurants that maybe aren't as popular or as well known. And you can always seem to get a reservation. It may not be at the best time, but you always seem to get a reservation. And this is one in the Magic Kingdom that you always seem to be able to get a reservation, whether that be for lunch or dinner.
I think what is funny about, not funny, but like the reason why this one doesn't get booked up a lot is because it's kind of boring. Like there's nothing really to it. And so people are like, well, if you have your opportunity to go dining, do a sit down dining experience, you're going to want something probably more, I would say, unique or something that you've never had. But don't disregard the satisfaction of sitting down and realizing like you need that decompression, and especially at the Magic Kingdom.
Here's 2 things.
Yeah.
So right now it's $39 per person for dinner. It's the Patriot Platter, the Declaration Salad, and the Ooey Gooey Toffee Cake.
Say that 5 times.
It's $39. Disney considers an adult ages 10 plus.
Right.
Now, we have girls.
Right.
And they're 19, 18, and 14. And let me tell you, they do not eat $39 worth of all you care to enjoy. They care to enjoy about $7 of that $39.
I think you added a year on all of our kids, but anyway.
Their birthdays are coming up in the next couple weeks.
Okay, yeah.
So they don't really care to enjoy $39 worth of platter.
That was the bummer. I think it was before we have gone to Liberty Tavern a bunch of times, but now we realize that we had gone a bunch of times when they were 9 and under.
Yes. So it was like worth the price then because it's only $20 or $21 for kids 9 and under.
We need some boys.
But yeah, if you have teenage boys, this is a fantastic place. Husbands, teenage boys, maybe you have a husband that like isn't super into Disney and you're like, how do I convince him to go? This is one of those places you should take him.
Right. So wait, what are we saying? Is it not worth the price?
I think there has to be considerations taken into place when you ask if it's worth the price or not.
Okay,
if you have teenage boys or you have a large family of big eaters, definitely worth the price because it's good food, it's comfort food, and you get a lot.
True.
If you have like us, you have 3 girls who don't eat a lot and they're considered adults, it may not be worth the price.
Right.
You may want to skip it, or you may want to go for lunch.
Okay. Which, I mean, here's the thing. Like this particular time, it wasn't entirely a slam dunk for me. I think that some of it had to do with the circumstances, so it wasn't like necessarily like the same old thing. But I do think it is someplace that I feel spending money on. Like I do feel it's worth the price. It's just either our kids have to really start training when it comes to eating.
Yeah.
Like we got to do something, or we got to go alone or bring our nephew.
I think when you have, in our situation, when our kids are considered adults and they pay adult prices, but they don't eat a lot at one sitting, it gets expensive. Like sitting behind us was a couple.
Yeah.
And they were eating the same thing we were eating, and they were going to pay, $39 per person. So it's like $100 for the meal plus tip if you consider drinks and everything. And they're going to have a great time.
No, you can't help it. If you have a child that doesn't eat a lot, I feel like you can't help but look over at them with kind of like disappointment.
Yeah, you want them to eat your money's worth. You want them to eat your money's worth.
Yes, that's what it is.
They never do it, so.
Competitive eating. I think we're going to need to do some training beforehand, kind of like what we do. We do a lot of walking before our Disney trips. I think we need to also
stretch out that stomach.
Stretch out that stomach, exactly.
Or bring Ziploc bags, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe just dump some of that food in the Ziploc bag and carry it around. I did consider
the rolls
at some point sticking the rolls in my bag. I had my string backpack, and I didn't eat the rolls because it's filler, and I didn't want to eat the filler before the meal came.
Right.
And they were left over. I did consider them, not ashamed to say it, sticking those in my bag for the rest of the day.
I mean, it is what it is. You could probably they probably would have given you a to-go container, but we were too awkward to ask.
That's true.
Okay,
next one. Sci-fi dine-in theaters.
Sci-fi dine-in theater.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, this one is located at Hollywood Studios. We also talk about this quite a bit. We recently visited, and we didn't get a car to sit in, so immediately I was disappointed and thought it was not going to be worth the price, but maybe it's the low expectations because I really enjoyed myself here.
I actually like not having a car better.
Slow down.
Than in a car just for this trip. Because not that I would want to not sit in a car every time, but we've sat in a car probably the 5 times we've been there.
True.
And this was different. So we got to experience the TV, the shows, the atmosphere, but we also got to sit around together and talk about our day.
Yeah, and that was kind of refreshing in a way. Like, it was a long day. You know, we were covered in masks, so you didn't get to see your expression. So we finally sat down. We're kind of in a circle. It was intimate, and I don't know, our kids seemed to lighten up, open up in that environment.
Yeah.
So like having the milkshake, one of our children got a dairy-free milkshake, and she was really excited about that. We got, I think, fried pickles as an appetizer. We were really just having fun, and I truly think this is worth the price. It's not the most exciting food, but I just feel like the atmosphere, it's just a fun place to hang out.
You don't go to the sci-fi for the food particularly. You go for the car experience, you go for the movie experience, the indoor environment, and the food is good. Is
it me, or did they lighten up the movies? It didn't feel as scary this time. Like, not that it ever was scary, but
I don't know if it was that they lightened them up, but maybe it was the fact that the way we were sitting, the movie wasn't the focal point for us.
I don't know. I agree, but I did have a lot of, like, I kept turning around to try to take video of the movie playing. I don't know if that's something you're allowed to do, if that's like whatever, but you're not supposed to do that at the regular theater. But I figured, hey, why not? And I couldn't really find any clips that were like that terrifying. I don't know. Yeah, no, maybe it's just I've grown up.
Maybe they edited it a little bit since then. But I think it's worth the price too. I think it's definitely worth the price. Check it out. This is one of the only ones that we're going to talk about today. Well, Via Napoli isn't either. That wasn't all you care to enjoy.
Okay, Via Napoli, you already said it. Worth the price in Epcot.
So we got the Mezzo Metro pizza, which is basically a big, giant tray of pizza.
It is pretty big, but it's thin.
It is a thin pizza. So I would say I'm a pizza connoisseur. I like to call myself one. Right?
Yeah.
Still working on you, Pizza Planet. I'm coming for you.
Okay.
This is probably the equivalent of a regular 16-inch pizza, but it's stretched out in a larger format.
Right.
So it's a square pizza where it comes on a tray. It's good for your whole family. So we're a family of 5, and it looks like it's going to be not a way too much pizza, but one slice is like half a regular slice.
Yeah. I don't think it's very large when you first get it, or you're happening to glance at another table when you're walking in. You're like, whoa, that's a lot. Yeah. But it's thin enough where it's not, for sure, it's not overwhelming. So I think at this particular restaurant, we ate the entire pizza and we were full. But I think that's because we were also had eaten during the day. I think that if you're a big family like us 5, even though our kids are light eaters, the pizza's thin. So I would order like a salad with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe.
The salad too, we got at a seat. It was almost like the chef's table we got, which is the seat right next to the kitchen.
Maybe
so you can kind of see them making the salad, see them making all the pizza in the pizza oven, and it was actually pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
And we also got the large pizza, and I thought it was very much worth the price. This is probably one of the only places in Disney where I suggest you get pizza.
Yeah, I think we're finally on board to recommend pizza at Disney, and it's going to be in Epcot. And I know a lot of people had mentioned this to us before. They were like, well, if pizza's bad, have you tried Via Napoli? And we were like, well, I don't know. And so I think we're believers now.
Yeah.
I got some kind of strawberry drink that was really good. They had some like mulled strawberry. The only thing I don't think is worth the price here, and forgive me, I hate to be negative, but I don't think ordering dessert is something I would do here.
I don't think I would order dessert in any Epcot restaurant.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that there's so many places to get a dessert outside of the restaurant.
I agree.
So skip the dessert, save your money, order the one pizza for your family, or maybe two if you have a bigger family. It's good pizza, get a drink, a salad maybe if you have more people in your party. Definitely worth the price in my opinion.
I agree. I'm so excited we finally found Via Napoli, and it's comforting, right? It's almost like Liberty Tree Tavern. It's like familiar. Pizza is always good no matter where you are, and it's like so easy because you don't have to heavily think about what you're ordering.
Right.
And there's a lot going on in Disney, so you kind of I feel like sometimes I like to just chill out and order something simple.
All right, well, that's going to do it. This episode is brought to you by Unlocking the Magic Travel. See below for all the links and our Patreon group. That's pretty fun as well. So, to recap, Sanaa, worth the price.
Yes.
I agree. Whispering Canyon.
No, I think we need to give it another try, though.
I'm going to say no for dinner, yes for lunch.
Okay, that's fair.
Maybe yes for breakfast, but we'll have to test that out.
Okay.
Liberty Tree Tavern.
Yes.
I'm going to say yes for us too, but if you have people who aren't big eaters, who are considered adults, even though I'm still not an adult, I don't know how how do they make that requirement? I would say no.
What is it about the Liberty Tree Tavern though, right? Like you go there and you know, okay, you're going to get full on all the good stuff because there's mashed potatoes, there's the mac and cheese, right? Of course, all the other sides and the turkey. But like their bread rolls and salad is so good. And every time they would bring it over and I'm like, don't eat it, Connie. Like don't get full on salad and bread. But they make it so good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what they do. That's how they trick you, so you don't get more of the good stuff.
So bummed.
So Liberty Tree Tavern, I'm on the
Fell
fence.
for it every time.
Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater.
Oh, definitely worth the price.
I agree. Via Napoli.
Yes, worth the price. I'm excited about that one.
I agree.
All right.
So there you have it. Thank you so much. Let us know if you think any of these Disney restaurants are worth the price, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're like, you know what? I went to Via Napoli and the pizza was terrible.
Yeah, who knows?
What are you talking about, Bruce?
Or sci-fi. I mean, I've heard, some people not like their steak, but I feel like if you're going to go here, get a burger, get the veggie burger if you're not a meat eater, definitely get some kind of shake. They do offer dairy-free shakes too, which is, just have fun.
Yeah, check it out. Let us know what you think in the comments below. We will be monitoring those when this video comes out. And if not, we'll see you on the podcast this week.
Yes.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.